Hey there guys, you're welcome to ABC News Highlights. My name is Nana Kwame Bobe.
My name is Golda Abba Dai.
And as usual, we are bringing you the latest happenings in the country. We are going to go into our first story. So this year, one of the biggest political scandals would have to be former Sanitation Minister, Mrs. Cecilia Dapaah, who after the whole $1 million saga and other currencies and a lot of money found in her room and stolen by a worker of hers hit the internet. It's been a rolling ball of scandals. Yes, so the Office of the Special Prosecutor has released some claims, one including that she still receives funds from an account belonging to her dead brother or her late brother. Well, she has responded. So in a sworn affidavit responding to the OSP's application, Madam Dapaah vehemently denied and challenged assertions that the monies and assets seized from her residence were tainted. Yes, so she did say that the account is not hers, but it was registered as a late brother's account. So during the account registration process, it was said to be an account of a deceased person, which she is signatory to, right? And all the money sent to that account was for her to pay school fees of her deceased brother's children. Basically, that's what she's saying.
How much is the money?
All the monies that has been seen to be flowing through the account, according to Mrs. Cecilia Dapaah, is meant to be for school fees.
I see. Well, we shall see what the OSP has to say about that.
Yes. I mean, also, it's important to know she said this on a sworn affidavit. So she's not supposed to lie.
So say if the money is like $5 million, it's just for the school fees?
Yes.
For the rest of their lives?
Yes, that's what she's saying. So, and I quote, "The money was being transferred from my deceased brother's account into my account, when the truth is that funds were transferred from Cow Bank from an account in the name, the late Nana Akwesi Esan. I hope I got the name right, to which I am a signatory to. The account was opened with the funeral donations collected by Cow Bank at my late brother's funeral." Yes.
I see.
I see being the response of Abba is not very unprecedented, as the same person, Mrs. Cecilia Dapaah, is said to be suing the multimedia group for slander and defamation, basically.
Yeah. I hear she says some of the articles they released were, slander and defamatory, so she's suing them.
I think she just has a lot of time to take on a lot of legal battles. So Abba saying we will see is definitely the perfect answer before we are the next media house to be taken to court.
All right, on to our next story for the day. So be patient, your arrears will be paid. NSS personnel are not happy with the delay in their payment, and the institution has replied and says they will be paid. So the National Service Scheme has given the assurance that the September 2023 allowances for National Service personnel have been released to the Secretariat and is being processed for payment as soon as possible. In addition to that, the arrears following the recent upward adjustments was also being processed, or is also being processed, and will soon be paid after the September allowances. So what we're hearing is that it is now from 559 to 715. And the arrears for January to June haven't come, and they also want their payment from September to October. So NSS says you should be patient. Your money will soon be there.
It's a tool we all know too well, don't we all? Yeah, if you've done NSS, you're definitely aware of this particular tune of be patient, your money will come. So yes, guys, fasten your seatbelts and hopefully they will come very, very soon. And we are moving on to our next story. So it is no news that now running flag bearer aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Kennedy Ejapon, was and is still one of Mahama's biggest critics during his tenure as president. I mean, every scandal he was definitely talking about it, every corruption that came up, Honorable Kennedy Ejapon spoke heavily about it. So somewhere in 2022, that's 2022, Mahama was quizzed why he's been very silent amidst all these attacks from Honorable Kenny Japan. And in a resurfaced video, he's seen alluding his reason to two very wise African proverbs. So, according to the former president, John Dramani Mahama, he's guided by two African proverbs, one being, and it's an English proverb. I will start with the English one, where he goes on to say, you don't wrestle with a pig. It doesn't mind rolling in the mud. And so if you try to wrestle with a pig, you also go and roll in the mud. And I don't want to go into that mud. That was the first proverb. And the second one says, if you're bathing and a person who is not correct comes and takes your towel, you don't jump out and run after him. Mr. Mahama stated in an answer during a meeting with some members of the National Democratic Congress at the Bentley University in the United States, somewhere in March 2022.
You know, he may say that he didn't respond to him, but these two proverbs, Nana, I think are more than maybe the jobs.
Yeah, I think they are jobs,
very.
But they go on to explain his silence. So I'm interested, right? Now that he is in a place where he's vying for the flag bearer position, do you think Honorable Kenny Japan will take this high moral ground and let quote unquote non-correct people run away on their own or fight on their own?
If I'm not mistaken, I think this was the last week. He said something along the lines of he's been a harsh critic of the former president and he apologizes. So I don't think he's about to be throwing jabs at the former president.
I think this goes on to say something in a recent interview of Mahama where he talks about the fact that during his tenure, he did say to the opposition party then that if you are not president,
you don't know what it means.
So maybe relax. It's similar to this. I think the closer you get to a position of higher power, you become more understanding of what it takes to be in that position. So now he's saying he apologizes.
We shall see if the president or former president will accept that apology.
Definitely.
Now on to our last story for the day. We've been consistent in condemning media attacks. Honorable Oppong Nkrumah to GJA. I think last week, yes, there was a situation where, some people who are alleged to be members of the New Patriotic Party walked into UTV, did some things that were inappropriate. The NPP party has apologized to UTV. It has distanced itself from the situation and doesn't accept those people as its members. The Minister for Information, Honorable Oppong Nkrumah, released a statement. However, GJA was not happy with his response and said, well, let me read the story. The Minister of Information, Oppong Nkrumah, has asserted that his ministry has been consistent in its condemnation of attacks on media houses perpetrated by thugs affiliated with political parties. His remarks come in response to the Ghana Journalists Association, which expressed disappointment with Oppong Nkrumah's statement regarding the assault on United Television in Accra. In a statement signed by the General Secretary of GJA, Kofi Yeboah, it was pointed out that the minister had failed to directly denounce the attack on UTV. The GJA deemed the minister's statement as lacking in decisiveness and criticized his attempt to justify the attack by mentioning alleged unauthorized entry by the assailants. They noted that the minister himself had reported the incident to the police. The GJA also highlighted the disparity between the information minister's response to the UTV incident and a previous incident where a journalist at Dagbon FM was assaulted by an NDC activist. Now, in response to these claims, the minister has said that the allegations by GJA were unfounded. He explained that his ministry reports information as obtained from its monitoring center and updates its stance as more information becomes available. He further clarified that the ministry's condemnation was in line with the previous responses to attacks on media houses and journalists. And I'm quoting, "My view is that I think we've been consistent. We don't need to break ranks. We need to put the attention where attention needs to be put, and that is prosecution and the courts. That we stand together with them and we use them to ensure that that is deterrence. So he says that GJA is wrong. The appropriate response has been given to the situation.
I agree in the sense that I think beyond anything, his Honorable Oppong Nkrumah's tenure as Minister of Information has seen a lot of education and the need to protect journalists, and just have had a better way of aligning the journalism in this country to proper dissemination of information and aligning with government and checking misinformation and everything. And I think countless times he has come out to safeguard the rights and lives of journalists that have been attacked. And I think the records prove themselves. He did also say, however, that every time there's been an attack on a journalist, whether in the example cited by the GJA or the one like at the United Nations UTV, United Television Studios, he has reported it. And he also added that he had called the journalist on set to ask her personally if she was okay, if she was hurt. And the GJA could have reached out to the journalist to check their information before putting it out. So I would like to say that I think one of his legacies as Minister of Information would be having to do high levels of public education on journalism, ethics, and even safety of journalists. And I think it would be quite unfair if he's deemed to sort of not focus or even give attention to what happened at UTV because of any assumed political ties.
True, very true. All right, this has been ABC Highlights. We'd like to know your thoughts. Do let us know in the comments. My name is Golda Abatai.
And my name is Nana Kwame Bobe.
For more stories, please visit abcnewsgh.com. Our social media handles, abcnewsgh_. See you.